Enter today's candidate, the first in our low-cost studio headphone review process is the MAONO MH601. I'll never understand MAONO's naming process, but since their microphone did so well for us in the past, I wanted to give the company an opportunity to get their name out here and have a chance to see exactly how these work. At the time of review, these headphones were running about $45 on Amazon with a coupon here and there that had different prices depending on the sellers. Now, I will admit that I am stepping a little out of my comfort zone with this review, as my prior experience with headphones was typically the gaming style class, these HyperX style or something along that line. So coming into the studio headphones is just a different type of environment and a different classification of headphones, but I thought these really deserved a good review to be able to go through. First thing we can talk about is what do you actually get in the box with these? You end up with these headphones, which I'm really happy that the cord is detachable. I just like when you're trying to travel with them or something, you can detach the cords out of these, and you get a coiled cable here to hook up to either a mixer or a hi-fi stereo, and then these are threaded connectors to go down to the 1/8" jack on like a cell phone or a small stereo system of some sort. I personally don't like these screw-on jacks because you're limited to only being able to use them for this cable. They're not really adaptable to anything else unless you have these other type of connectors. And I'm not a huge fan of this coiled cable. These to me are just bulky and they kind of get in the way when you're trying to use them or hook them up to the mixer and stuff. So I won't be using this cable today, but I didn't notice any differences in audio quality when I use that between my other cables that I have available to me. Now, a few things to talk about. The design of these headphones is that the ear cups do have a 360-degree rotation on both sides, and then they can turn up to about 90 degrees one direction to turn them off ear if you're just trying to hold them and listen to them versus actually putting them on. More of like DJs do that quite often and things like that, where they don't want to actually slip the headphones completely on, but they just want to be able to listen to one ear at a time or something. The headband does adjust quite a bit of a range. It's definitely way bigger than my head is. This goes up to, each side is numbered 1 to 7, and I only click them out like 2 on each side to keep them on my head pretty snug. The headband's not very tight. There's a soft fabric pad on the inside of this, on the inside of the headband to keep it from rubbing or snagging or anything like that. The ear cups themselves are this leather style material. I'm sure that this is not real leather. It's probably some kind of pleather material or something, and it does have a little padded fabric on the inside of the driver there. In terms of size for the ear cups, the one thing that I was kind of uncertain about is I don't feel like I have very large ears, and I feel like my ear fits very snugly in there. So if you have a larger ear size, these might not work for you. These might be a little bit too small in that aspect. But that's just something that you're going to have to kind of determine and feel out. They do fit really well for me, and because of the small ear cups, I believe they block out quite a bit of sound once they're being worn. If I have any type of audio being playing, no matter what the level, it pretty much drowns out anybody talking in the room with me or anything like that. It pretty much, they do a pretty good job of self-isolation without any active noise cancellation. In terms of connections, these actually have a 1/4" and an 1/8" connection on the headphones here that you can actually connect either to. It seems that on the inside of the headphones, these are wired together in the same format, so you can actually use the 1/4" for a mixer or the 1/8" for a CD player or an MP3 player or a phone or something along that line. It actually does a pass-through as well, so you could use the 1/4" to a hi-fi stereo and then have somebody else plug their headphones into the 1/8" and listen to the same sound you are. I tried it and I didn't notice a huge amount of audio loss when you were chaining the multiple sources together. There was a small amount in the end headphone unit, but I couldn't tell if it was because I was comparing them to the studio headphones versus a pair of earbuds, or if it was actually a dramatic amount of audio loss or tone loss or volume loss in the signal. But I did think that that was a really neat feature, and it gives you a lot of flexibility when you're trying to figure out what you're going to use these for. Again, if you travel, if you have a mixer set up at home and you use all 1/4-inch connections, and you just want to leave your cable here and just throw a little 3.5mm cable or 1/8 inch in your bag to travel with, so you're not carrying a big cable with adapters and things, it makes it a really good unit to travel with if that's what you're trying to do as well. Now getting into the meats and guts of what you're really expecting to hear about here is the way these sound. I'm gonna be honest, I was really taken aback when I put these on for the first time, and I thought they sounded flat and hollow, and just there was no real oomph out of them. I don't really know the word to describe it, but coming from these HyperX headphones, it just sounded like the MAONO ones just didn't work well. But after several hours of listening, I really started to notice how my ears had not been trained to hear sounds what I would call properly. I went back and forth between the two sets very regularly, and after a while I started to notice that the HyperX sounded a lot more muddy every time I put them on. The bass was way overemphasized, and the highs were sharp, and they almost were kind of ear-piercing versus the flat tone response that the MAONO headphones had almost all the way across the board, which just gave you a better clarity and a better sound quality overall. I think that's kind of the emphasis in the way games are played and the way audio is done for gaming and the way these headphones are EQ'd when they're built. They're designed for loud explosions, various gunfights, and things like that for gaming purposes. So the EQ is set up to match that a little bit better. Whereas these are more designed for music production, vocal production, things like that. So they have a much more flat response. I can tell you now that I have worn these for about a 5 to 6 hour session, and yes, my ears do get a little sweaty in the process, but they are comfortable and they don't hurt as far as audio listening. There's nothing in them that drives me, crazy in what I'm hearing or anything like that, and they're just sound pretty decent for the price. Now, to be entirely honest, I want to say that this is probably not something, again, like I said, it's probably not something where you're going to grab your $75 gaming headphones and you're going to pick up a pair of studio headphones and you're going to notice immediate difference. It's going to be one of those things that you're going to have to build up, and you're going to have to understand what the differences are. But once you hear them, it's very, very hard to unhear them. At this point in time, after a week of testing this product, I have a hard time using these at all for any long period of time because I notice how different the sound is and how muddy everything comes out of them. Going into the final stages of this, just to try to provide you a little bit of my take on it, do I think these are worth $45 to $50? At this point in time, I really, really do. I don't have a lot of background to say what compares to other studio headphones, but considering that these were $70 and these were $50, I could say that the $50 ones, to me at this point in time, sound substantially better in the long run, and they just provide a better listening experience if you're doing music, movies, or anything along that line. If you're going with gaming, you could probably stick with these and never have an issue. But again, if you're doing long listening periods or anything like that, these MAONO headphones are going to be a great entry-level piece for you to start with, and they're just going to work well with you in the long run. I would love to have the opportunity in the future to step this up and do a couple more reviews on these different styles and models and manufacturers to see what the differences are and do some comparisons there. That way I have an opportunity to really give a great comparison between the different products. But that is going to be it for my review today. I appreciate you guys for watching this.
The MAONO Studio headphones AUMH601, this headphone, it's coming from the future. Really guys, this headphone is the future for any headphone that all the companies should follow. So what makes this headphone is really amazing and blow my mind when I see the pictures and when I get it to check it's really work as they mentioned on the internet. That's what I'm going to share with you today. So let's check first what comes inside the box. So you will get a headphone and spiral cable which can get extended up to 3 meters long, and the terminals of the spiral cable, it's 1/8 inch, and you get the two adapter from 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch. And these adapters with the cable are swivel, so when you connect it, it will not lose the connection at all. The nice amazing thing about this cable especially, it's the angle at the connectors on the edges of the cable. Because of this angle you can see, so the force you need that you disconnect the cable by mistake, it will require more force than the normal straight one. While if you want to remove it, you just hold it from the straight part and you remove it. So it will not require extra power when you want to remove it by your hand, but it will require more power to get disconnected by mistake, which is really something I like in the design of the cable. And I think all the companies in the future will use this idea. The second thing that really blew my mind, that this headphone has two inputs, one on the right side, one on the left side. One of them is 1/4 inch and the other one is 1/8 inch. Any audio cable will work 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch. And also the idea that you have both sides, you can connect the cable to your headphone, that make it more convenient, that where you have your audio device and where you want the cable to come, you can always find a place to connect the cable to your headphone. You don't have to stick only to one side, which is really make a difference if you stay in your desk and listen to music and do something else beside it, like playing music, for example, or preparing your CD as you are a DJ, or preparing your track. So the idea that you can get the cable from left or right, that's really amazing. And not just that thing, what really blew my mind in this headphone, that these two inputs can work also as an output. And at the beginning I was like, what does it mean? So this means you can have one audio device with one output for a headphone, and then you can connect multiple headphones by this way. So how that work? You have your audio device, you connect your headphone to one of the inputs to the audio device, and then the second input at that moment it will act also as an output, so you can connect a second headphone to it. So a lot of people, and me personally, find this an amazing advantage to have in your headphone, because generally if you want one of your friends or your music band listen to the same song you're listening, you need to find two headphone outputs, or you keep sharing the headphone together. But this one, two headphones are working at the same time. And one of the things that I tested by myself, when you connect a second headphone, the volume is not changing at all. And if you remove the headphone, still the volume will not change. So when you put the second headphone, the volume will not drop. And if you remove the second headphone, the volume will not be suddenly increased and hurt your ears. So the volume stays the same in your headphones. And that's really an amazing feature. A lot of people change their audio device or some of their musical equipment because they need an audio device or an audio interface with two headphones. Imagine you don't need that anymore. You just need now one headphone output, and then you can connect many headphones as much as you need from this kind of headphones. And that's really amazing. That's why this headphone is coming from the future. I tried headphones up to really 600 euro, and no headphone has these features, and this headphone will cost you around 50 euro. The driver diameter of this headphone is 50 millimeter, and 50 millimeter is a standard professional audio driver for the headphone that used by the professional audio engineers. So you have 50 millimeter driver's diameter. That's really something pro to get in this headphone. And the frequency range of this headphone is from 20 Hz up to 20 kHz, which is really, that's the full range that any human can hear. You can't hear below that, or you can't hear more than that. So you get everything you can hear in these headphones. Regarding the comfortability of using this headphone, I tried this headphone for more than a week now, and it's really comfortable. The pads of these headphones is really like pillows over your ears, so it's really amazing. And regarding the sound is really good. There is no any distortion with high volumes. You can feel the bass, especially if you are into metal music, rock music, and if you are into drum and bass music, you will enjoy your time a lot listening to the music through these headphones, because the bass in this headphone is really clear, sharp, and is not losing its definition, but in the same time it's boomy but not muddy. If you are into bass and you love to listen to bass music, you will understand this definition. Like, you have the bass notes are really clear, not like fluffy or muddy, but still it's boomy and you feel the bass sound. And as I'm a bass player, I love to hear that while I'm practicing and while I'm hearing music in general, so I can hear the bass clear. So This headphone is amazing for people who love to hear bass, and if you don't into bass at all, you will hear a nice, really, all the ranges like the mid-range and high frequencies are really well pronounced in that headphone. So regarding the sound, it's really amazing. The bass is really nice, and this is one of the strong points in this headphone. And the sound, whatever I increase the volume, it will not get distorted or any problem with the sound in high volumes. And the impedance of these headphones is 32 ohms, and this is one of the pro standards that we have in the headphones. 32 ohms, this means it doesn't require a strong or special headphones amplifier, so you can use it with your headphone or MP3 player or any audio device. Some headphones which is like in high ohms, like 600 ohms or 250, it really requires a nice audio interface so you can hear a loud music. But with 32 ohms you can hear a nice and loud music with any device you have. So I found this headphone, it's really amazing regarding the features that I'm totally get impressed by it, and the sound quality is totally great. So I give these headphones 10 stars regarding everything. Really comfortable, sound is great and nice to listen to music, and the features that this headphone has, it's much developed than the other headphones in the market, even up to 600 euros. This headphone, it's amazing. I totally recommend this headphone for anybody searching for a headphone to hear to listen to music, or working as a DJ and want to have a comfortable, nice headphone with him all the time without any problem. So give it a try, and this headphone will never let you down.
Hey guys, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a quick review of an inexpensive pair of headphones from MAONO. We found these on Amazon for about 50 bucks. We're going to go ahead and check them out and see how they do, and if they'll be good for DJs, home DJs, maybe a great backup, maybe just for pure listening pleasure. So sit back, relax, check out this quick review of the MAONO MH601 studio headphones. If this is your first time to the channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button. This channel is pretty much dedicated to finding inexpensive gear for mobile DJs, home DJs, bedroom DJs, home disco enthusiasts, and anybody who likes to have a little fun with live sound, lighting, or anything similar at home. Ready? Here we go. We're going to open this box. It's a MAONO Studio Headphones MH601. In the box we have this little bag. It's just a piece of, it's a styrofoam cover. It's not going to be a reusable bag. And we have the headphones. All right, the headphones seem to have a nice little fold up, kind of DJ-ish, but you can't seem to fold them both together, but that's all right. We have some adjustment. We have a left and a right marking. All right, that's nice. We can flip them in and out, flip them all the way around. Spring loaded. They look nice. They got an M on the side with a little silver splashing. We definitely have some plastic. I don't feel any metal. MAONO. All right. Side looks like we have a little bit of a little cloth on their the headband part, and we have some pretty thick synthetic material here. They're super light. The box shows we got a little red here, but they are silver, which is cool. They're very they're cool. And besides that, it looks like we have an eighth inch plug and a 1/4 inch plug, but the wire's not on them. We're gonna go ahead and set them on the ear. Comfortable, very comfortable. They're very light. Don't do that. It's a pretty nice spring. Nice. Why they got to sit like that? Look at that. They bend nicely. They'll sit nice. Easy to go one ear. Turn one out. It's nice. I'm looking to pose side camera, but very light. I hate messing up my hair, so I rarely put them over my head. So it's good. Good. Very light. Not very noise. There's not a lot of noise blockage. I mean, there's obviously dampens the sound some, but I can hear my snap, no problem. There's not much going on here. I can still hear the fan from my computer. But let's see what else is in the box, guys. Headphones look nice. And you have a nice bag of coiled cord. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. We got a nice... So it easily goes over 6 feet if needed. All right, and then you have... oh, that's nice. So you have 1/8-inch stereo to 1/4-inch stereo on both ends, and both have adapters, and they both screw on adapters, so they're going to stay where you want them to. Nice and easy. So that's what you got. You got the headphones, you got the cord included, you got the adapters, 1/4-inch and 1/8-inch. Looks good. I mean, for DJing, you don't really want much longer than that. It's nice. I'm on the right way again. Yes, I do. So this is nice because you can obviously just take it out and go. Yeah, you can just take it out and go. You can pull them out, not worry about it. They're very comfortable. All right, let's check out the sound and see what we think. John Williams, Star Wars, killing it. I just checked these things out with a little Dr. Dre, with a little hard rock, and even John Williams doing the original Star Wars theme, and they sound really good. So I like to use a bunch of different music. I don't use headphones at home that often, but I might start because I miss music being that nice and that nice stereo field. So I do like them. They're really inexpensive, they're light, they sound great, and I do like the included cord, and I like the flexibility of this, and this. These are great little DJ headphones. They're great for home, they're great for just chillaxing and listening. I didn't try them with my phone. I got them plugged right into my computer system basically, and they're great. They get really loud, the bass is pretty good, and the clarity of music such as classical sounds really nice, guys. Check these out. For $50, they're a 5-star buy for me.
This is the MAONO Man, why y'all gotta make such hard to pronounce brand names? MAONO AU-MH601 Studio headphones. The retail price for it is $43, and we'll be comparing it to my headset, the HyperX Cloud Revolver, that goes for around $118. It's basically 1/3 the price, so we'll see how it holds up. For the packaging, the box is sleek, but if you look inside, the box comes with an informational packet and a baggie that contains the audio cord. There's not much cushioning, but no company riffraff either. Just the key things you need. As long as your UPS driver ain't yeeting your packages, it should be okay, but HyperX wins out with luxurious packaging. The AU has some interesting features, a 3.5mm jack and a 6.35mm jack, which I haven't really seen before. If you use equipment that requires that, then there you go. It also supports headset sharing, so if you and the boys got some MAONOs together, it's gonna be pretty lit! That's one thing it has over the Revolver. However, it lacks external media control and doesn't have a microphone. As you can see, the cord is spirally, which helps prevent tangling, but might be awkward when extending it, so it's up to you to decide if it's a pro or con. I like that the jack is on an angle because it will help prevent cord damage, unlike the Revolver, which is stiff straight, so I need to be more careful with it. The HyperX has standard quality features like a microphone and audio adjuster, while the AU has more uncommon features like a different jack or headphone sharing. You can decide based on your needs, so it's a tie. Looking at build quality, it feels like it has similar material to the Revolver, but it lacks the metal support band and leathery fabric for the ear cups. While both pads are pleasant to wear, the larger over-ear design of the Revolver makes it a little bit more comfortable, especially for long-term use. But while still being sturdy, the AU can fold in to save space, so that's good for storage and on-the-go use. HyperX still wins in build quality, but the AU is excellent for its price point. For audio, both headsets are great. They sound virtually the same all around for bass, lows, highs, mids, etc. But because of the open cover of the Revolver, it makes the audio sound more natural and a bit better. The AU's closed-off cups, though, do allow for better noise cancellation. Overall, the AU is an excellent headset even when compared to a higher end headset. The Revolver may be more comfortable and have a bit better sound quality, but for only $43, the AU rocks out. Whatever uses you need it for, the AU has you covered, but the Revolver is geared more towards gaming, so it does better in that category. Now, will I be using these headphones? I think I'm still gonna go with my OG HyperX Revolver, cause like obviously I'm a gamer girl. But really, these are gonna be graciously donated to my brother since the other day his feeble skull candy snapped, so let's see what he thinks of it.
Sounds very clear. I like how it sounds like it's not blasting in your ear, but it's like kind of right. Like there's enough space inside the headphone so that it's like not, the sound waves aren't banging against your eardrum. Guitar sounds good. I love how crispy and clear it sounds. Like you could hear every single instrument, every single beat, and change in pitch and tone. Alright, so I think the comfort of these headphones, it's not really that much different. They both feel very comfortable. I mean, maybe they feel a little bit different, like the outer covering right here that wraps around your ears when you put it on. It feels more smooth, while these headphones over here, it feels more leathery. But I think that they both still feel pretty comfortable in my opinion. I honestly don't think I could really tell much of a difference between the two. They both sound really good. These are some good headphones, and I think they're also pretty durable too. 1/2 centimeter thick. That's pretty thick right there.
Hallo und willkommen zum Test der MAONO Studio Kopfhörer. In diesem Test erfahrt ihr alles, was ihr darüber wissen müsst. In der Packungsbeilage befindet sich einmal ein Kabel und der typische Papierkram. Die Kopfhörer fühlen sich auf den ersten Blick sehr hochwertig an und sind sehr gut verarbeitet. Auch die Polster sind ziemlich weich und ich kann mir gut vorstellen, die auch länger zu tragen. Und man kann natürlich auch die Größen verstellen, so dass man sie an seinen eigenen Kopf anpassen kann. Das mitgelieferte Kabel ist zwar für mich zu groß, da mein Rechner so einen Anschluss nicht hat, aber man kann natürlich auch sein AUX-Kabel anschließen, ist zwar nicht mitgeliefert, aber ich hatte zu Hause eins rumliegen, sowas sollte man auf jeden Fall bedenken, wenn man sich diese kauft. Ich habe die Kopfhörer jetzt an meinem Mikrofon angeschlossen und jetzt kann ich praktisch komplett die Tonqualität überwachen und ich höre mich jetzt gerade selbst bei dem Mikrofon und ich muss einfach sagen, man hört einfach wieder die geile Tonqualität ohne Verfälschung, gerade so wie es aus meinem Mikrofon rauskommt, man hört kaum Grundrauschen. Der Ton hat so die perfekte Mitte von Bass und Höhe, was einfach ein perfektes Klangbild ergibt und ist auf jeden Fall praktisch so aufzunehmen. Vor allem kann man noch sagen, dass es vor allem ziemlich weich ist, das heißt, ich kann auch wirklich, wofür Studio-Kopfhörer gedacht sind, mal auch mal so 10 Stunden am Stück, ja, so lang schneide ich pro Tag, die Kopfhörer auflassen und ich sehe einfach, wie richtig bequem die Kopfhörer sind. Die passen einfach genau auf die Hörmuschel. Nicht, dass sie hier drauf drücken und nicht, dass sie auf die Ohren drücken, sondern sie haben einfach eine perfekte Form und sie sind auch nicht so schwer, was das Ganze auch leichter zu tragen macht und sie sitzen einfach so auf dem Kopf, da ich sagen kann, als wenn ich jetzt 10 Minuten weiter zu aufnehmen, merke ich gar nicht mehr, dass ich überhaupt Kopfhörer auf habe und trotzdem habe ich die Vorteile dieses Kopfhörerpaars und dazu muss man einfach sagen, das ist ziemlich gut gelöst und das finde ich auf jeden Fall eine geile Investition. Ich meine, für 50 € seinen Ton immer perfekt zu hören, finde ich auf jeden Fall gut und kann ich vor allem auch nur weiterempfehlen. Was mir auch aufgefallen ist, dass ziemlich wenig Ton durchkommt. Das heißt, man kann zum Beispiel auch mit anderen Leuten zusammenarbeiten und sie fühlen sich nicht gestört durch den Ton, da praktisch keine Außentöne rauskommen, was ich auch nochmal ziemlich praktisch finde. Und jetzt testen wir mal, ob man durch die Kopfhörer durchhört. Ich werde jetzt einen Clip abspielen in normaler Lautstärke, also so wie ich jetzt gerade rede und wir hören dann mal, ob man was hört. Ich bin wirklich sehr überrascht, denn wie ihr selbst gehört habt, hört man einfach gar nichts durch, was ich ziemlich krass finde.
Ich ziehe jetzt eine Kopfhörer an und ich versuche mal meine Bewertung zu geben. Die Kopfhörer kann man super in die Ohren anpassen, so einfach und problemlos. Die haben eine sehr gute Soundqualität. Ich werde die Kopfhörer weiterempfehlen. Preisverhältnis ist sehr gut, also für das Geld kriegt man nichts Besseres. Der Sound ist auch ziemlich klar und deutlich, keine Geräusche oder Störung, also das finde ich super. War heftig, Bewegung vom Kopf, die sitzt ziemlich gut. Die wackeln nicht, die rutschen nicht, also ich finde es super.
Ich habe viele bekannte Personen gefragt, was sie zu diesen Kopfhörern sagen und sie waren einfach begeistert. Vor allem für 50 € liefern sie eine super Tonqualität ab, was ziemlich keiner erwartet hat. Ich und auch viele andere Leute, die diese Kopfhörer ausprobiert haben, können sie nur weiterempfehlen. Von daher war es das jetzt auch mit meinem Test. Ich hoffe, ich kann euch bei eurer Kaufentscheidung helfen. Von daher war es das von mir.
Die Verpackung ist auch heile. Sieht wohl jetzt erstmal so, macht es einen guten Eindruck. Sie sieht gut aus, die Kopfhörer. Ich pack's mal aus. Scheint wohl, ja. Kann man hier so einklappen noch extra. Kann man noch in der Größe wechseln, das ist natürlich auch super. Gucken, wie die Passform so ist. Ja, fühlt sich ganz gut an, weich, drückt nichts. Bei meinem kleineren Kopf müsste es ein bisschen kleiner sein. So, ja, jetzt ist es besser. Dann ist hier noch extra was eingepackt, die Kabel dazu. Schauen wir mal, wo wir es dran stecken müssen. Ah, hier. Passt auch gleich. Hier kann man noch den Knopf abdrehen, der hier drauf gehört, um die Größe zu ändern, zum Beispiel jetzt beim Handy. Also ich habe die Größe hier mal jetzt geändert, dass es in mein Handy passt. Dann machen wir jetzt erstmal einen Soundcheck, wie sich das anhört, wenn ich Musik darüber höre. Also mein Handy hat es auch gleich erkannt.
Kannst du da irgendwo die Lautstärke an den Kopfhörern verstellen?
Also Sound ist ganz gut, aber es ist jetzt auch nicht übermäßig laut. Jetzt kann man nur eine bestimmte Lautstärke einstellen. Ich weiß nicht, ob am Gerät selber noch was ist. Nee, sieht nicht so aus. Aber so muss ich sagen, ich bin sehr zufrieden. Also hört sich echt super an. Also es ist ein guter Klang. Also es ist auf jeden Fall zu empfehlen, zu kaufen. Top.
Das ist der MH700 vom MAONO. So ist er zusammengeklappt. Wir wackeln mal. Da rappelt und klappert nichts. Das spricht für die gute Verarbeitung. Dann haben wir hier Skalen rechts und links am Kopfbügel. Wenn man die sehen kann, ist das ganz gut. Da kann man dann den Kopfhörer gleichmäßig einstellen, damit er schön rechts und links über den Ohren sitzt. Das sind die Gelenke rechts und links an den Ohrmuscheln. Ich wackel mal dran. Auch hier ist überhaupt kein Spiel feststellbar. Das ist sehr, sehr gut. Das ist prima verarbeitet. Hier gibt es eine Besonderheit an den Buchsen für die Klinkenstecker. Und zwar einmal hier rechts und links. Hier ist die große Buchse, hier ist die kleine Buchse. Hier sind kleine Karabiner an dem Stecker. Man steckt die hier rein und verriegelt die. So können die nicht rausrutschen. Sehr gut mitgedacht. Sehr, sehr gut. Kommen wir mal zu den Ohrpolstern an den Ohrmuscheln. Das ist ja hier ganz weich. Die Nähte sind total gut verarbeitet, wie man sieht. Hier ist nichts schief, nichts krumm, wenn man drückt. Das ist sehr angenehm, auch auf der Haut. Das Proteinleder nennt sich das. Und das ist wirklich sehr, sehr gut verarbeitet. Das Polster am Kopfbügel lässt sich abnehmen, hier über diese Druckknöpfe. Das ist gut zum Reinigen oder zum Ersatz, wenn da mal was kaputt gehen sollte und es Ersatzteile gibt, ist das eine sehr nachhaltige Geschichte, sehr, sehr gut. Man muss da nicht direkt wieder den ganzen Kopfhörer entsorgen, sondern kann Ersatzteile austauschen. Das gleiche gilt auch hier für die Ohrmuschelpolster. Prima. Der Klang des MH700 ist hervorragend aufgrund der 50 mm Neodym-Treiber. Das sind wirklich tolle Geräte. Das ist ein satter Bass, schöne Mitteltöne und knackige Höhen. Das ist wirklich super gelungen und gefällt mir sehr, sehr gut. Mitgeliefert wird so ein kleiner Sack hier mit dem MH700. Da passt er ganz genau rein, wenn er zusammengeklappt ist, so in dieser Form. Dann braucht er nicht viel Platz, kann mitgenommen werden auf Reisen. Wirklich sehr schön. Gefällt mir gut.
Salut, j'ai récemment acheté ce casque-là de la marque MAONO pour une cinquantaine d'euros. Très franchement, j'en attendais pas grand-chose. Je me disais bon, on va voir pour le prix, pourquoi pas. Il y avait de bonnes critiques et je trouvais intéressant de rajouter la mienne parce que j'ai été agréablement surpris. Bon, l'emballage, ça ressemble à ça. C'est pas du Apple, donc c'est assez, on va dire, rien de vraiment. Alors, on a un premier casque, enfin un premier câble plutôt, et le casque en lui-même. Hop. Le casque en lui-même se plie de cette manière-là. Vous dépliez. Et alors, ce qui est assez bluffant déjà au toucher, c'est qu'en fait, il est lourd. Il est très qualitatif. Ici, le rembourrage est vraiment, vraiment moelleux, très agréable. Le pseudo-cuir est vraiment très agréable à toucher. C'est vraiment très, très doux. Les finitions sont vraiment belles, sincèrement. Ici, il y a un système qui permet de réglage, qui permet de faire du réglage millimétrique. Vraiment très, très bien fichu. Ici, pareil, c'est moelleux et c'est bien fait et c'est doux. Bref, la finition est sincèrement exemplaire pour un casque de ce prix-là. C'est vraiment bien fait. Rien à dire. Alors, c'est fourni avec ce câble-là. Ce câble-là qui est un câble de type de double format. On a un câble de type hi-fi, donc un gros jack, de chaque côté. Et donc il se rentre directement ici dans le casque. Alors vous pouvez utiliser un autre câble, hein, parce que vous voyez, vous pouvez utiliser ici un mini jack ou un gros jack. Vous utilisez celui qui est fourni, par exemple, voilà, tac. Et de l'autre côté, ici, vous allez pouvoir utiliser, donc ce n'est pas un câble Bluetooth, c'est un casque filaire. Vous allez pouvoir utiliser le gros jack ou et c'est vissé, donc c'est très bien fait parce que vous risquez pas de le perdre, le petit jack que vous allez pouvoir mettre par exemple dans un ordinateur ou autre, ou bien ça dans une chaîne hi-fi tout simplement, ou dans votre outil par exemple pour faire du podcast. Voilà, le casque en lui-même est vraiment beau, il est sincèrement, il a une belle tête, il est bien fini, vraiment je le répète. La sonorité est bonne, pour l'avoir essayé, pour l'avoir comparé avec d'autres casques que j'avais, notamment un JBL, la sonorité est vraiment bonne. L'acoustique est bien fichue. Bref, franchement, excellent rapport qualité-prix, je vous le conseille.
Today I'm just kind of unboxing and reviewing these MAONO's studio headphones, and I was looking for something that didn't have a mic built into it, that actually fit my head and sounded really good. And so just kind of show you a couple things here. So first of all, when you open it up, you can kind of see them. They're packed up real nice. They just kind of unfold like this. Real good indicators right here. You got your left and your right, and man, real good feel when you first put them on. Real squishy, which is nice. Also, just brought these on because I do wear glasses when I'm playing, And one of the things that I wanted was some headphones that fit good with the glasses, and because of the padding, they fit pretty good. And so we've got good stuff going on there. So the last thing, which is real nice about these, is you got 2 different size jacks that you can do, and easily can just come across right here. And so what's really nice about this is I can use them for traveling on my phone, my tablet when I'm playing, my Nintendo Switch, but also I can use them for plugging into my electric piano and guitar amp, and so I can practice guitar, not hear anything. The sound's really good, has low basses, it sounds really good when you're playing in game, you can hear the voices real well. Do recommend using some kind of software mixer to help with everything, but overall it's really good quality. They feel really nice, and I'm really excited to give them a try for a while. And you can get those on Amazon. A friend recommended them, and so far I'm really enjoying them, and I look forward to some more stuff that they produce, because so far I've had some really good luck with their quality.
Son muy confortables, el acolchado es muy bueno. El sonido son drivers grandes con un sonido potente. Se pueden girar y automáticamente vuelven a su posición. Llevan conector grande, conector pequeño. El cable lleva en ambas partes conector grande y conector pequeño, y podemos enchufar aquí o podemos enchufar aquí. Esto también es acolchado. Y permite tenerlos a la inversa para poder tener escucha. La calidad es bastante buena de sonido, similar a otros de precio bastante mayor. Las almohadillas son intercambiables. Aquí podemos ver el driver grande y estas almohadillas se pueden cambiar, quitar y poner fácilmente.
close, and those are a little bit more spacey. Yeah? So this is like kind of like the audio surround here. It's a spacey audio experience, very powerful. I think this is something you could really work in a studio. No radiation next to the ears. Even for traveling, yeah. If you don't mind the cable, they don't take too much space, and they're built in a way I think they're probably going to last forever.